Dennis, Dennis, Dennis. Oh my gosh. I feel, well, I don't know if I should say I feel so bad for him. I feel bad for Dennis Schroeder. I feel bad for Dennis Schroeder. This man, as if, and everyone's clowning him, so I feel so bad. But this man had the potential to sign a 4-year, $84 million deal with the Lakers. Guaranteed in length and cash. 84 cash. But he's like, nah, I want $100 million. I know my worth. I want $100 million. He was focused on that. The Lakers said, nah, okay. Don't worry about it. They go out, they make a trade for Russell Westbrook. We don't need you. We don't need you, Dennis Schroeder. Don't worry about it. Dennis says, okay, I know what the market's like. I know what I can get. I know I can get that $100 million. Then we see Reggie Jackson signed for $11 million a year. We see, I think Kemba signed for cheap. We see a couple other guys go. Evan Fournier signed for cheap. Mike Conley re-signed. And these are all comparables around the same area of Dennis Schroeder. None of them made over $20 million. And Dennis Schroeder was asking for 25. Dennis Schroeder's not worth $25 million a year. He was asking for 4 years, 100 sheets. No way, bro. No way. He's not even worth $20 million. So all these comparables that he's kind of put up against, even Alonzo didn't even make that much money. So Dennis Schroeder says, shit. I literally fumbled the bag. So Dennis Schroeder sitting there with an offer from the Lakers proposing $21 million a year. I think that's overpaid. I 100% think that's overpaid for Dennis Schroeder. But he wants $100 million. Probably just because he wants to say he got $100 million. Which is $4 million extra a year. But that extra $16 million helps out the Lakers. They can go and sign other guys, some depth guys to help you guys out to win a championship. No, Dennis Schroeder doesn't care. Doesn't care. I want my $100 million. I'm going to go get my $100 million from somewhere else. All these guys get signed, and Dennis is still sitting there. Look, if I'm being honest, I'm firing my agent if I'm Dennis Schroeder. He ends up signing a 1-year deal with the Boston Celtics for $6 million. $5.9 million. $6 million. My brother, you went from 4 years guaranteed, 84 sheets, to 1 year and $6 million. You look like a sucker. What are you thinking, bro? Always take the best possible option you have at that point. Is $16 million really going to do that much of a difference for you? And now the reports come out. Dennis Schroeder's in a state of shock. No doubt. No doubt he's in a state of shock. My guy, you could have had 21 sheets a year. That's $15 million more than what you got right now. And you don't know what happens after this year. Knock on wood, I never want to wish anything, wrong on an athlete. Who's to say Dennis Schroeder doesn't go out there and mess up his knee? Who's to say he doesn't have an Achilles tear? Bye. Good luck. I fear that we may be seeing the next version of Isaiah Thomas. Not Zeke, but Isaiah Thomas of the Boston Celtics. Isaiah balled out, worked really hard. Undersized guy, though. Was never able to get the money, I think, unfairly because he was an undersized guy. Goes to Boston, balls out. Ends up getting an injury. In the contract year, I think. Never gets that money. He's not even in the league anymore. Should be. Not in the league anymore. That's terrible, man. I actually really feel bad for Dennis Schroeder. But you fumbled the bag and you should fire your agent. Fumbled the bag. Didn't even fumble the bag. It was literally gift wrapped. It was the money was put into a tightly secured briefcase, wrapped up, duct taped, put inside of a bag, then put inside of a chest. Literally, all you need to do is just open the chest and it was yours. You dropped it. You fumbled the bag, Dennis. And that's tough. That sucks. One bright light, I think, for both the Boston Celtics and for Dennis Schroeder. I think this is a really good situation for him. I think being with the Celtics will be a good spot for him. Does he sign there long term? I don't know. I hope he can coexist with the likes of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. I know there's been reported issues, character flaws with Dennis Schroeder. Apparently he didn't want to bow down to LeBron James. And you're a man. You should never have to bow down to another man. I understand that. I understand where he's coming from there. But there's been some reported character issues with Dennis Schroeder in the past. Maybe that's why we've seen him on 4 different teams in 4 years. Atlanta, OKC, the Lakers, and now the Celtics. I don't know, man. I hope it goes well. I think Boston, they needed a center. They need a legit big, and they needed a point guard this year. You reunite Al Horford in the Celtics organization. Dennis Schroeder also knows Al Horford from their Atlanta Hawks days. Maybe that works out. Maybe that's a good connection. I think it has the potential to be well. I think the Celtics are hungry because they had a bad year last year. Dennis Schroeder is working for a contract now, something over $6 million. I think it will be beneficial for both sides. But boy, he screwed that up. He really screwed that up. And it was presented. It was perfectly presented for him. All he had to do was sign in the dotted line. But he got greedy. So I don't know. It'll be interesting because he is a solid player. But I'm not sure how he does this year in this circumstance with all this noise around him now. We just, again, fires his agent, locks everyone out, and balls out and has a really great year. So I'm feeling for you, my German brother, and that's tough, man. But yeah, you fumbled the bag for sure.